Today in Los Angeles, a vital highway up north may get a $2.5 billion tunnel to keep it from sliding into the sea. Plus big moves on public safety laws, a tough animal cruelty conviction in Irvine, an ammonia scare in Boyle Heights, and a billionaire tax headed for the ballot.
Let's open the book on this. I'm Leah, keeping it real from the heart of LA, ready to break it down with you.
And I'm Garrett. Let's set the stage for the day. This is Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Los Angeles. First up, California's Highway 101 erosion crisis and that proposed tunnel. We're talking about Last Chance Grade, the cliffside stretch just south of Crescent City in Del Norte County. It's a lifeline route for the North Coast, and it has been failing for decades thanks to multiple active landslides. Quick timeline. The path was a wagon trail back in 1894 and took its current highway alignment in the 1930s. In 2023, the road finally reopened after years of one-way traffic controls. In May 2026, the state finished the Environmental Impact Report, the big study that looks at how a project affects nature, communities, and costs. The plan now on deck is a $2.5 billion tunnel that would bypass the unstable slope. If built, it would be the longest tunnel in California, longer than the Wawona Tunnel in Yosemite. Construction could start by 2031 if funding and permits line up.
That's close to the heart of it. Safety first for the folks up there who rely on 101 for hospitals, groceries, school, everything. And this is, a climate reality story too. More intense storms and wetter winters loosen hillsides. Investing in major infrastructure like a tunnel is a long-term way to manage that risk. So why does it take until 2031 to break ground?
Yeah, that checks out as the big question. Short version, tunnels are complicated and expensive. You need final design, federal and state money, right-of-way, and geotechnical work to map the ground. Think of it as pre-building before actual building. It takes time, but the idea is a reliable route that does not fall off a cliff every rainy season. That's pretty cool, right?
Next up, a hard story out of Irvine. Two former dog trainers, Kwang Chun Sit and his girlfriend, Tingfeng Liu, were convicted in the deaths of 11 dogs. Sit ran a business called Happy Canine Academy. Prosecutors said the dogs were kept in small crates in a hot van and died from heat exposure. Sit was found guilty of multiple counts of animal cruelty and evidence tampering, which means trying to hide or alter proof. Liu was convicted as an accessory and for destroying evidence, which means helping after the crime. Investigators say the pair even tried to impersonate owners to cremate the dogs. The case came to light after a concerned owner tipped off authorities in June 2025, and by June 2026, both were convicted. They tried to flee when arrested and were held on $500,000 bail. This underscores the need for stronger oversight of animal care businesses, inspections, training, and clear safety standards so families are not taking a gamble when they hand over their pets.
Honestly, it's unbelievable. Pets are family. I'm all for tighter rules on boarding and training outfits, basic stuff like temperature monitoring, staff certifications, and surprise inspections. And that impersonation angle, trying to pose as owners to cremate the dogs, that's a curveball and just plain cruel. For sure, accountability has to be real here. Next up, Boyle Heights and that warehouse fire with an ammonia leak. This started just after 2:30 p.m. on a solar panel-covered roof of a cold storage facility. The fire reached an ammonia line, which led to small explosions. The owner is Lineage Logistics, a large cold storage company. Anhydrous ammonia is the refrigerant used. In plain terms, it's pressurized ammonia without water. It keeps warehouses cold but can burn skin, eyes, and lungs at high levels. LA. Fire Chief Jamie Moore said the leak wasn't at a toxic level unless you had direct contact or respiratory issues. A shelter-in-place order was issued and later lifted Wednesday night, which means stay indoors, close windows, and limit exposure. The Air District kept an advisory up until 10 a.m. Thursday. Monitors showed elevated smoke particles, but no significant ammonia levels recorded in the air. No injuries reported, which is huge. Quick context. This same Boyle Heights site had a smaller fire in August 2024, and in 2023, Lineage Logistics paid an EPA fine over chemical risk management at a separate facility in Iowa. Different site, same company. It highlights how tight safety compliance has to be with chemicals like this.
Let's not let this one slide by. When you're dealing with a regulated substance like ammonia, the margin for error is tiny. It's good the readings didn't show significant ammonia in neighborhood air, but the pattern matters. Prior issues and another fire mean regulators and the company need to double down on prevention and emergency planning, things like valve protections, leak detection, and staff drills. Real talk. The goal is that neighbors never have to worry about coughing in their own living rooms again. Next up, a shift in state criminal justice policy. Assembly Bill 46 would tighten mental health diversion. Diversion lets some defendants pause prosecution to get treatment, and if they complete the program, charges can be dropped. The original law passed in 2018 aimed to get people care instead of jail when mental illness contributed to the offense. Right now, judges have to presume mental illness played a role if a defendant seeks diversion. AB 46 would change that by giving judges more discretion to decide based on the facts. It would also limit which crimes are eligible. Supporters point to safety concerns and to cases that rattled the public. For example, in February 2026, Gilberto Gutierrez was granted diversion despite a history of domestic violence. A 2020 study by the Rand Corporation found many inmates could be candidates for diversion. So there's a balance here. The bill tries to keep the treatment path open while tightening the safety screen. It is poised to head to Governor Gavin Newsom for a signature.
Yeah, that's something to chew on, huh? I support the intention. Keeping people with serious mental illness in treatment can reduce repeat offenses and help families. At the same time, giving judges clearer guardrails for violent or high-risk cases makes sense. High-profile incidents can swing public opinion fast, and then the law swings with it. The key will be good screening, strong treatment programs, and data to see what works. Otherwise, we kind of fly blind. Last up, the billionaire tax proposal headed for the November ballot. This would be a one-time levy up to 5% on people with more than $1 billion in assets. The goal is to raise about $100 billion to offset federal healthcare funding cuts and also support education and food assistance. Supporters turned in about 1.6 million signatures in April 2026. It will officially qualify in June unless it's withdrawn. Backers say it is a fair way to stabilize essential services. Opponents, including some tech leaders like Sergey Brin, argue it could push billionaires to leave California and destabilize the tax base, which just means the pool of taxpayers the state relies on for revenue.
That's where it gets interesting. The proposal speaks to economic disparities. In plain words, who pays for what we all use? Wealth redistribution is the idea of shifting more of the burden to the very rich. Supporters see it as a targeted way to keep clinics, schools, and food programs open. Critics worry about long-term stability if high-net-worth residents move or if investment slows. I guess the big question is, will it raise what's promised without unintended damage? Voters will get to weigh that trade-off in November. So there's your big picture for today in Los Angeles. We've brought it full swing. I'm Leah, signing off from Laid Back Local in LA. Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow.
And I'm Garrett. Stay safe out there, stay curious, and catch you tomorrow.